Well, hello again. This is Tuariki Delamere, the former Minister of Immigration for New Zealand, currently licensed immigration advisor and principal consultant for TDA Immigration. This is the third of 3 videos that I've made for the Accredited Employer Work Visa process, which got underway on the 23rd of May. This video is for the migrant applicant. For the migrant applicant who wishes to apply for an approved job, approved under a job check made by the employer, the accredited employer. So let's get this overview of the application process underway. The Accredited Employer Work Visa instructions provide for the grant of work visas to non-New Zealand citizens, those who have an offer of employment to work in New Zealand for an accredited employer who has an approved job check already completed. This system is also the system that determines your ability as an accredited employer work visa holder to support temporary visas for your family members, and that's based on minimum guaranteed remuneration. Now, the fees for applying for such a visa, $540 is the migrant application fee to Immigration New Zealand. You'll also have to pay an immigration levy of $55. If your application is declined, it's not necessarily the end, you can seek a reconsideration. That will cost $220. And if there are changes later to be made because of changes in your employer, you can seek a variation of conditions, and the fee for that is $190. Now, when the employer has completed the job check application and they've been approved, the employer is given a job token that is unique, as a unique number that will link the migrant's application, your application, to that approved job check. And for you to be able to apply, the employer must give you, the migrant, a copy of the employment agreement, a signed offer of the employment, signed and dated, and a valid job token number that's not being currently used for any other AEWV application and hasn't been used before. Now, determining an accredited employer, Immigration New Zealand may grant an AEWV if satisfied that the applicant meets the generic work requirements for applicants, that is largely health and character, and that you intend only a temporary stay. So don't use a cover letter to talk about how this is you're determining to stay here forever as a resident. That won't help you, and it may hurt. You'll also have to hold an offer of employment that meets the requirements of the job that was approved by Immigration New Zealand, and you must also demonstrate that you have suitable training and experience to qualify you to do the job that you've been offered. Where an employer's accreditation has been suspended or cancelled, the AEWV application, your application, will not continue processing. Applicants who hold a current work visa with remuneration as a condition of their visa may also be required to provide evidence of that remuneration payment, your income that you've been earning, such as your IRD income summary and bank statements. And that's just to prove to Immigration New Zealand that you haven't been breaching the conditions of your existing work visa. Now, requirements for the employment offered: the job must be genuine and include the following information: name, address, telephone number of the employer, name and address of you, the applicant, and a full job description, including job title or designation, the address of the place of employment, the type of work, duties and responsibilities involved, details of pay and conditions of employment, the hours of work, the duration of the job, how long the job offer is open. Do this carefully, okay? Don't rush it, get it right, because if you get it wrong, you'll get your application declined. Now, the following details of the employment offered must be the same as those approved as part of the job check application. That's the location of the job, your actual occupation, the hours of work. That is, your minimum guaranteed hours must not be less and maximum hours must not be more than what's been approved for the job check application. And your remuneration must be in the range approved by Immigration New Zealand for that job check application. And you must be working for the approved direct employer. So check up on that, okay? Over the last many years, so often I have seen migrant applicants get lazy and not check that everything fitted. Make sure your application fits with the job check application that was approved by Immigration New Zealand. Okay, your employer should help you, but at the end of the day, it rests on you. Make sure you do it properly so you don't get turned down and rejected. So INZ will decline an application where it considers that the employment was offered as a result of payment made or payment promised by you, the applicant, by your agent, to the employer in exchange for securing that offer of employment. These new rules are designed to prevent the exploitation of the past by predator employers. And I think this is a big step forward. And if you try to do that, or the employer does that, you're not going to succeed. You'll be caught probably. Now, are you suitably qualified? You will have to demonstrate to Immigration New Zealand that you have the appropriate qualifications, work experience, skills, and any other specifications the employer has listed and been approved for in the job check application as the minimum requirements for the job. So again, make sure your background, your documentation fits. Now, those of you who want to support dependent children, accredited employer work visa holders must meet a minimum income threshold of $43,322.76 per gross per annum. Now, that'll be easy for all of those of you who are getting the median wage. For those of you who in jobs with the median wage, it doesn't have to be met. You may struggle on that. So if you want to have your kids here in New Zealand, you must have that $43,322.76 gross per annum minimum. And it must be met. The income must be met and maintained wholly by the salary or wages for the duration of the visa. Evidence must be provided of your current income. And parents holding an AEWV may be liable for deportation if your child's visa application is declined and the child subsequently becomes unlawful, okay? So if your child becomes unlawful, you're going to lose your visa. And that will happen if the threshold of income is not maintained because you're no longer meeting the requirements and you and your children may be liable for deportation. So be very careful in following up on that. Now, once you've been approved, your visa may be granted up to a maximum of 3 years. And your visa may be subject to conditions that you, the holder, may only work in a specified occupation, may only work for a specified employer, may only work in a specified location, and you must be paid at or above a specified remuneration level. In most cases, at least the median wage of $27.76 an hour. And if you are requested by Immigration New Zealand, you must provide evidence of your remuneration payment. You must prove to them that you are actually earning at the appropriate hourly rate that's required. Well, okay, that's it. That's pretty simple. The real work for this is actually done by the employer during their job application. And as long as you, the applicant, meet the requirements of the approved job check application, there is no reason for you to not be approved unless you have character or health issues. So look, I hope that's helpful. If we at TDA can help you in any way, by all means, feel free to contact us. The contact details are on the screen following this. And as always, take care. Make sure you're protected from the COVID pandemic. We still haven't got out of it yet. Hopefully not too far away. So again, Good luck, everybody.